Welcome to the Generation Fit podcast. I'm Coach Chris, my coach, Coach Brett. Together, we've helped hundreds of corporate desk working men go from skinny fat to superhero. We talked about how to go from that dreadful skinny fat body and build that broad shoulders, lean waist superhero physique, and some other fun current events. Enjoy. Today, I received my order from Butcher Box, and I normally, like 2 days beforehand, will audit what's on there. And Butcher Box is just a subscription service for meat and other things too. But I forgot to audit what I got the deals for. So usually I see a great deal, like I just hit like add, right? And as I don't, at the end, you just don't know like what was a better deal or not. And so I forgot to audit it, and I got 12 bags of chicken nuggets. 12 bags. It has taken up my entire second freezer. And that's before all the other meats that I get for the entire month or two, which is like 20 pounds of ground beef, 40 pounds of steak, like everything. So like I had a 12 bags. So we had to just finish an entire bag of chicken nuggets for dinner. And I had to go to give some to the in-laws just to actually finish an entire bag. So I think we're gonna have chicken nuggets for a good, probably 3 days straight, entire bagfuls. Luckily, it's macro friendly. It's like 150 calories for 14 grams of protein. No, sorry, 140 calories for 15 grams of protein for chicken nuggets. Right, which is pretty damn sweet.
Pretty great.
You really love them dino.
Love that.
You know what's really funny? I actually got a client. I hope he listens to this podcast. Shout out to Nick. I had him do his food journal first 3 days, and I saw dino nuggets. I was like, no freaking way, dude. I was like, there's no way a grown ass man that's my age, actually I think he just turned 30, is eating dino nuggets on the regular.
Fuck yeah.
So everything's on the table at this point.
Yo, I had protein, I'm in.
Well, I mean, I actually don't think the macros are that bad. I think what it is actually the ingredients that make you like really like. I remember eating that making me feel lethargic afterwards, and to get a lot of like, whether it be diarrhea, whether it be an itchy rash behind my knee. There's a word for it. It's not eczema, but it's basically like hives.
Buggies.
If I ate a lot of, I used to eat a lot of processed foods when I was younger, so I didn't really pinpoint it. The ones that really came out to me was like when I stopped eating Cheez-Its, and like Cheez-Its was, but I used to eat boxfuls of Cheez-Its like by the day. So that's a different. Like, I'm sure if you ate a handful, like you'd be like, okay, whatever. But I'm also a psychopath and enjoyed Cheez-Its so much to the point where I would be ill and still eat another box without question.
Dude, I hate them and goldfish.
Really?
Them and goldfish.
What?
I could do goldfish, but like Cheez-Its were my crack cook, basically.
Cheez-Its are great. Okay, so like when we say Cheez-Its, do we mean like the soft ones or do we mean like the crunchy ones?
Just crunchy, gotta be crunchy.
Gotta be crunchy? Okay.
Wait, soft
Cheez-Its?
Sure.
Yeah, dude. What?
Yeah, I've never heard of soft Cheez-Its either.
Is that a Canadian thing?
Maybe I'm just old. Fucking probably.
Probably is a Canadian thing.
Fucking probably. Oh, God.
It's gotta be a Canadian thing.
I never really realized how much like stuff is different in Canada than here until like I'll have like random unique experiences. Just like how only like within the past like a couple months have I been able to find like ketchup potato chips at like Trader Joe's.
Whoa.
That's bro. What? The one time I shopped at Trader Joe's when we lived in Hoboken, worst experience of my life. I can't stand that. I couldn't find shit.
That's fair.
It's all
that is the most
yips.
Yep.
It's place to shop, and I'm like, I feel like Trader Joe's is a place to shop that like, if you're in a clique in high school, you went to like the smoothie shack, like go to Trader Joe's. Like smoothie king, we were in high school was like the shit. Like if you came to school with like smoothie king cup, like you were a cool kid. So it's like, oh, I'm walking out of Trader Joe's, I'm the cool kid. Like, no, you're not.
Well, you know what's funny is I as I'm looking at all the ingredients of all the Trader Joe's stuff, I'm like, I was like, the quality of food isn't that much better.
It's not.
What they do well is that they replicate other foods that just aren't usually made for mass consumption or easy distribution. So, like for example, it's like soup dumplings. It's really usually harder to find in American markets. Now, it's a little bit easier, but Trader Joe's had that for a while. They have hash browns that are easily air fryable, that are
Those,
like not
I,
they actually taste damn good.
I'll give them that. They were good. Bought it back in those.
Yeah. Yeah. So Brett, when we lived together, we went there, I think literally one time, and we had like the worst experience there because everybody was like, following these like weird line rules, and everybody there was like cutting in and weaving in between like the lanes. It was like it was like the weirdest experience. So we were just like ShopRite goers through and through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I was a big. I was going to Acme for the longest time just because like it's decently cheap. That's really it. Aside from that, even like the Acme fucking Hoboken kind of sucked. It was really sad. But
That's where we
Trader
lived.
Joe,
That's where we live next to.
We were like,
Acme is
we were
just
like,
not where it
block
is.
away from-
Yeah, but we still
Yeah,
go to ShopRite though. ShopRite had way better deals.
for sure. You actually like miss out on Eligio's opened up a small like boutique grocery just like right by there too recently. Which is like really cool, like interesting like Italian stuff that get important for the most part. Pretty sick.
Well, our boy Alessio with a cafe, he opened up a little smaller cafe too, or something like that, like a dessert shop
Dude, I
somewhere
let
up
that's
north.
He's
they
got
have
a few places now, actually. Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
he treated us well. I mean, I also gave him like my entire freaking life savings the first week because I
the
like
first week we
underestimated
had
all my food.
free night.
Nice.
He came home with like pretty much a pie to himself. Like
Hell
in
yeah.
our kitchen table, like hunched over our table with it, pizza, like somebody was feel it, just like housing it. I gotta
Jesus.
give
Well,
man.
well, imagine, like, you just gotta think to yourself, like, I went from living in suburbia, right, driving to my personal training job every day, and then living in a city where I walked there and back 0.7 miles per trip, on top of working out, uh, doing that twice, the walking portion, and then also if we went out or did anything else extracurricular, we'd walk 95% of the time. So like my step count went from like I had to push to get to 8 to 10,000, and then now we were doing 20-25 average. So every time I come home, I'd be like, I was like, holy crap! I got I ate like normally like 20, 25, 3,000 calories. So I mean, maintaining is like 3,000. And I was like, holy shit, in Hoboken, my maintenance was 3,800 to 4,000.
I miss that. I do miss walking everywhere because like
It's so nice. It's so nice, dude. Just like so many steps, so much like free fucking calorie output. You don't even realize it's happening. I feel so bad for people who live in like the Midwest somewheres where you have to fucking drive all the time. You cannot walk. It's so much worse. That's why
Who would
like
do that? Who would ever
I know, right?
move out
Crazy.
there?
Who would abandon like proper society to live in a fucking barren, frozen wasteland during the winter? That's fucking crazy, Doc.
Do you know how cold it
Jeez.
was today?
probably
cold was it?
negative.
It was on the thermometer. It was -5. Felt like -15, and it snowed.
When I visited my Minnesota, she got me out there in a flannel while it was -10, and the normal. I'm like, no, the fucking ain't.
No, it's not. I mean, I'm getting used to it, but I'm like, dude, this is not something I want to get used to.
Nah, dude. It's like you don't want to be there. You kidding me? Fuck, get the fuck out of that shit. Like -5 Fahrenheit is real fucking cold. Like that's a cold fucking day. No one's just like no one realistic is gonna be like, oh, -5 is like it's basically summer. Like, no, it's not. No, that's fucking stupid. No, that's chilly as fuck. Fuck that noise. Absolutely not. I don't want to.
Freezing. Like I could pick off pieces of hair. So goddamn cold. Was not happy.
Yeah, that's what happens. No, that's what happens. Like, especially if you do the beard and mustache, like especially if you're breathing, like the nose, like it's actually like the nose hairs freeze up, the mustache will freeze up because like steam is coming out of your nose as like as it's all happening. It's crazy. You're talking to a guy who has no hair on his body, and I'm freezing on my hair. It's like it doesn't make any sense. And so,
Caribou, bro.
Well, we have caribou coffee beans here, so we just grind them up every day. Caribou is like it's just like the Minnesota / Midwest coffee shop. Like that. That's what they go to. It's equivalent to like Jersey. It's like equivalent to like I think more Central Jersey is like Rook is like the more popular brand. I don't know about North Jersey. It's like equivalent to like a Gregory's essentially, but like Gregory's is like a one-off shop in Hoboken. I know there's more around different areas of New Jersey and New York.
Rather caribou than Starbucks.
Yeah, caribou is just like the Midwest coffee. But regardless, I can see why environment matters so much because it's -5 degrees, and you're telling me the highest drinking is happening in Minnesota. It's like, yeah, I would be drinking too to keep myself warm.
What the fuck?
Like, you know how tempted I am to just fucking crack open a beer or like take a shot of whiskey just to like warm up my chest. I can see why. I can actually understand the ethos why. Because I never really had like an urge to just like crack open a cold one like around here. But like as I'm here more, I'm like, dude, this is not the environment that I want to be in forever because like everybody around us just drinks toxically. And like I get like we were in Hoboken, we had our fun times, and if I were back in that environment without a kid, it's like would I still be doing that? Probably not as much, but like sure. But here it's just like a casual Tuesday, and people are blacked out while ICE is swarming places, getting all the illegal immigrants casually. It's like imagine you're getting blacked out drunk, and then people are just getting swiped, and then we're all just like, there goes that Somali. Oh, there goes that Asian guy.
What the fuck,
bro?
I'm joking.
Just on your porch, just like drinking beer, watch people get deported. Like, cool, sick.
Well, they're at the bar, but yeah. Well, what's funny is like I'm sure you guys have been like at least hearing what's going on the news. It's so different being here and watching Minnesota be on live time, like basically the laughing stock of the United States right now. It's actually insane. So, Paul, my mother-in-law, she works for the school government, right? And so within the government, so she works in school property, especially with special ed kids, and a lot of them have stopped going to school because a lot of the ICE officers will be standing outside waiting for the kids with weird names and calling them for their documents.
Yo, that's
and getting swiped.
It's just the way that you said like weird names is just so fucking. Could you just imagine just like like hooded, like not hooded. I mean,
hooded. Whoa.
Yeah, that's not the word I was looking for.
I know what you're talking about.
But you know what I meant.
I thought you say do-rag. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
But like just a fucking list, and it's just like dude, that shit. Can we go back to the 90s when all we had to worry about is what Beyblade I was bringing to school? Jesus Christ.
Well, hey, imagine. I mean, it's funny. It's like it's just very blatant. I mean, think about all this happening all at one time, right? So, like in a span of like 4 weeks, we had the daycares with fraud. Then we had like the Minneapolis, like just. Yep. Dude, are you living on? Dude, I live under a rock.
Oh wait,
and I know what's going on.
The daycares of the people like asking for money. That's happening in Minnesota.
It's all Minnesota.
Oh,
yeah, because the governor allowed a lot of people. Basically, she's Somali herself. She immigrated a lot of Somalis over, or allowed something, whatever bill to help them live here or whatever, and whatnot. And a lot of the money. Yeah, and a lot of the money was just not properly tracked or used, and so right now people are trying to dig deeper, and what do you know? Can't track like 80% of the millions that are lost. On top of that, then you have like what caused that is now all the ICE officers now just going down the list and be like, all right, John Smith, all right, Bob Kane, all right, up, and we're gonna go to them first, and then that's it, and then they'll just sit there outside school and just rip them, and then ask for documents. I mean, it's completely fucked up. And then even if they do have their documents, they don't even care because your last name's all messed up. So I can't wait for an ICE officer to stop me. I'm just start speaking Chinese and just mess with that, like just just really mess with.
Oh God,
That's
I'll let you know how it goes. I'm pretty. If I have a black eye on the next podcast, you'll know why.
Yeah, fair enough.
So that's what's happening in Minnesota. Anything happening fun in New Jersey right now?
New Jersey, not
No.
really. I mean, like it's cold as fuck right now. Like we're gotten like it's getting real chilly here. We're supposed to go down to like actual like Alaskan temperatures like next week, I think, or at the end of this week. Just
Wow, you guys
for
getting
no fucking reason.
Yeah, the
But,
sucks.
you know,
It's
aside
like
from that,
Yeah, wow, nothing in New Jersey, huh? That's fair enough. Fair enough. I think New York has taken the cake
Yeah.
on. New York is taking all of it right now with Mamdani.
Yeah.
And I don't even know freaking politics. It's just the fact that like things are popping up on my feed, and it's just so funny to watch.
and
But
to be fair, like you know me, I stay out of it.
yeah, well, the thing is, it's more of I think it's good and bad. I think it's good in the sense of like it's just all negative stuff. It's bad because like one day I could just go upstairs, next you know, like the house is raided because I'm Asian, and then I'm like, what the hell just happened? So it's kind of like the double-edged sword of if it's ignorance is bliss, you know, it's like in Animal Farm. I think it's the pig. They're just like, they're just like, oh yeah, this is happening, but I'm just gonna sit here and still eat and lay in my shit because why do anything? And that's what I feel like sometimes. I'm just like, well, if I know what's happening, but if I step outside and get raided, can I still lift?
Can I get to the and I lift?
Just imagine that in the case.
Why is the rum gone?
Yeah, as long as
I don't care about the government. Tell me where the rum's gone.
Oh my god. But yeah, so I've actually been getting funny. So one of my mentors was talking to me and saying that in my pursuit of doing this stuff that I've kind of like lost my way of just the things I enjoy doing. So one of the games I'm going back into is Ninja Gaiden. So I'll be kind of playing. I'll be playing that and streaming that just to get back into enjoying video, like just like my old video games, just to kind of enjoy the things that I love again. So I think I'll probably get into that, play some guitar, but just like random things that we haven't done because I feel like we'll get strung up. What'd you say?
I feel like they made a new Ninja Gaiden in the process.
Yeah, it's the newest one, and Ryu's back. Ryu is back. Yeah. Oh yeah. So I'll be back on that grind. I'm not doing Master Ninja though, because I'm not gonna try to sit here and cry my freaking face out after I die every one step. If I don't know if you ever played one of those games, it is the hardest game ever created on the hardest difficulty.
Really, the hardest game.
It is. Type in Ninja Gaiden or type in Ninja Gaiden Master Ninja hardest difficulty, like just the hardest difficulty of all games or whatever, and it's always up there every single time.
Okay, that's good.
For single player games.
Okay.
It's up there. It's all up there. They're all on the same list. I would love to know that list. So what does it say, Brett? It's usually like a contender. It's usually that. And okay, there's also games that are just made to be almost impossible, right? But this is like a skill. Like the whole point is that this is like a skill impossible, right? It's not like RNG where it's like you need something this to happen or that to happen, and then maybe you to go here. This is like you miss like a half a millisecond of timing, you're dead. Like that's how skilled this game is. And so Elden Ring is like that too. I've seen Elden Ring. I've seen
Elden Ring's not a hard game. Like I would never say Elden Ring's a hard game, right? What do you mean? Elden Ring has shut the fuck up. Elden Ring has a lot of self-imposed difficulty. Like, there's no difficulty scaling Elden Ring. It's just like you log in, and, like, this is the game. You're just gonna play. And like it's the windows aren't that small for most things. And except for like a couple of fights, like Melania and the Prince Consort Radon fight at the end of the DLC. Because I would say like a lot of the fights are like fucking super, super, super challenging. Um, but like when you're playing Elden Ring, a lot of it comes from like the challenges you impose upon yourself. If you want to play Elden Ring, if you want to make it easy as possible, you can just go fucking level. Like nothing's stopping you. Nothing can be like, oh, you reached this boss, you need to fight it now kind of thing. You can just be like, all right, cool. This boss is hard. I'm gonna fuck off somewhere for like fucking like 8 hours of exploration, come back and just clear it. Right? Like, you come back, you're like 3 times level you were, and you just fucking steamroll shit. It's not that bad. You also have like there's like a summoning system built in, and the bosses I feel like don't really have the best handling of summoning. You know what I mean? Like if they don't really they don't have like multiple aggro juggling. It's just like they just focus on one thing so the other person gets free reign until they, turn around on you, and you just kind of like avoid it while that happens. So just a lot of things in the game that make it like easier or harder. People saying it's hard or just like making it hard upon themselves for the most part. But yeah, I'm not really seeing like a list with Ninja Gaiden on it though. I just like Ninja Gaiden or whatever. So I'm just gonna see hardest
Oh
difficulty
yeah,
all games.
oh yeah. So the hardest difficulty is like people will say Dark Souls, Nioh, Lies of P, Ghosts and Goblins, Battletoads. Yeah, these are just like random. Like in terms of RPG, if you just type in Ninja Gaiden, Master Ninja, how hard is it? Everybody will be like, it's super damn hard.
I mean, I'm sure.
So okay, so it says comparing to Dark Souls and Elden Ring, is just that basically Ninja Gaiden is faster,
Huh?
harder, more chaotic, and more superior enemy AI that adapts to your gameplay.
Okay, that's pretty serious. Is it harder than something like I Want to Be the Guy?
Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden difficulty versus I Want to Be the Guy.
Yeah. I Want to Be the Guy. It's basically just like
is arguably more frustrating and unfair.
Really? That's hilarious.
So frustrating and unfair. This is what I was saying about the RNG stuff, right? In terms of like for example, I think there's like some games that are just like you have, like I said, you have to do like 7 different things all at one time and then hit a button, and then while the boss is doing this, you know what I mean? Versus this game is just more of like everything coming at it is just there's a name for it, where like everybody's kind of swarming you, and you have to like just move it with precision and timing, and then hit the right button. Usually it's only like a few combinations you can do at the right times, and you'll be punished for being outside that timing zone. And then basically the hardest difficulty, it's like if you get hit probably like probably like 5 times by like regular enemies, and then probably just once or twice by the main boss, you have to restart, right? So like it's pure. I think that's what it is. I think there's frustration, and then there's just pure difficulty. Like this is on the scale of pure difficulty.
Gotcha. Okay,
that's phone overheated.
I want to be the guy with fucking it. Nice. I want to be the guy who's like a fucking blast of a game though. It's just like it's a side scroller. It's like think like Super Mario kind of stuff for the most part. But like with all the hidden blocks and operator positions, so you jump. Hey, I thought it was pit. You jump, you hit like a hidden block, and then you fall in the pit because like it just bounces you off it kind of thing. That kind of bullshit. So everything is like super exact, and then it does some very unfair things. So you're just like a dude, right? You're just like some random fucking short guy. But you want to be the guy. You want to be the big damn hero that gets the girl, saves the world, that kind of thing. So like you're just some guy, and like there's a cutscene, and in this cutscene, it's Dracula. Dracula is sitting on his throne, and he's sipping wine, and he's like monologuing at you. And in the middle of the cutscene, Dracula throws his wine glass at you, and if you don't jump, you die, and it starts you over again.
Yeah. So. So basically, was at least the recap of it is unpredictable traps and motions. relying on gotcha moments, invisible blocks, sudden spikes, enemies appear out of nowhere, cheap and unfair, designed to trick and kill the player instantly, and then trial and error. That's like what the gathering is from AI reading through Reddit, basically. And then Ninja
Gathering?
Gaiden is skill
Playing
and
Magic the
mastery.
Gathering?
No. We're talking about I want to be the guy, the game, versus the Ninja Gaiden difficulties. And basically, it's just like one is pure randomness, unfairness, like random shit being thrown at you, random levels, whatever. And then Ninja Gaiden is demands high proficiency in combat, dodging, and weapon mastery. And then punishing but fair. So I think it's what it is. Like basically, it's just two different types of games. You know, like especially when you play like those like some of those people who play like the Mario games, like the custom mods, like those levels, the crazy ass levels that they try to speed run. Like it's like those. Like people probably just take like 150 takes to understand the entire map before they speed run it. You know, it's like the same thing for I want to be that guy. Basically, so you play the game once through, and then you can play it again, and then you know exactly what to do the next time. If that's what it's happening, for the most part, especially if there's a cutscene or like something that's moving or like that wine, like that Dracula with the wine, like unless that changes, you know. But Ninja Gaiden's just freaking an onslaught. But I'm not playing on Master Ninja. I'm just gonna casually play with my swords and chop people's heads off, and then do some spiraling thing. Izuna drops, crack somebody's skull open, and then just be like, "Hoorah! Chris won! Yay!" And then just go back about my day. If you're enjoying the podcast so far, please share with a friend, subscribe to our channel, and all right, back to the show. All right, so in terms of the skinny fat corporate desk worker, which is probably the most typical that we have seen, and to describe that, if people don't know what their skinny fat is, so skinny fat is when you have fat around your belly, for the most part, it's like usually where you hold it, or your kind of like your face area, and then you also are under muscled. So you just don't have a lot of muscle definition. So it's this kind of like weird mix of like, do I have to lose fat first, like lose weight first, or do I have to put on muscle first? And this podcast is going to tell you exactly what to do from here. And so to start off, I was a skinny fat guy. And the funny part is like you can actually go all three ways. So the whole point is that there is not one right or wrong way. There's just definitely a more efficient way to go about it, because I'll start with this. If you do the lose fat and build muscle at the same time from the beginning, you actually can. It's just that time frame, because you're basically doing both at the not like basically not the most optimal rate. Like you can do it, you can absolutely do it and do a great job of it. It just takes a little bit longer. And that's what I was doing for probably about a year or two. And most people can do that and look pretty good. But if you're not willing to do a whole year or 2 years to finally get a body that you like, then that's probably not the best way to go. So I'll start off with that. But let's, Brett, if you have anything to take on the skinny fat guy, I think Mr. Voorhees is a good example of a skinny fat desk worker.
The vast majority of the time, I feel like it's just under muscle. Like I am a huge prone to building muscle first. Like if you are skinny fat, I think you need to build muscle. I think building muscle first and foremost, just like gaining some actual quality pounds in your person. Once you pass the initial phase of I can lose fat and like build muscle, is just going to be like the quickest route to get you better shape. I feel like a lot of the time what happens is like it becomes so difficult to maintain a proper caloric deficit to become lean when you are skinny fat, because you just do not have enough contractile tissue to increase your metabolism to be high enough. You end up going to such like an extremely low amount of calories that like the diet is like just so difficult to maintain.
All right. What about you, Paul? What do you think of the first thing you should do if you were a skinny fat guy?
So I actually was, but when I went to my first college, I was actually still skinny fat, even though like, I was an athlete, whatever, especially being a wrestler, you're supposed to be shredded, but like, I didn't really have that muscle tone yet. So I was just skinny fat for a good portion of it. It wasn't till the year that I took off and actually was only in the gym, only lifting and focusing on lifting, did I then build the muscle that when I did cut weight and lose fat, I looked shredded and muscular because I built it all up beforehand versus trying to lose the little bit of fat I had from being skinny fat. Cause like I was 180, 190, but like wasn't shredded. Versus once I put that muscle on, got up to like 205, then cut back down to like 190. I was like, oh, Hulk smash, you know? So like to put it in a lamer, like an easier understandable term. So I do agree with Brett that like you have to build before you can take away. Because if you try to take away from something that's not there, it's going to hurt you more than help.
So here's the thing. So this is what so physiologically, I agree. Psychologically, I disagree. So, and what's funny is it's not inherently right or wrong which way you go, right? But it's basically you have to choose one and optimize for either first, so you get the best of it, basically. So the one reason why I disagree is because it has to be contextual. So we all worked out, well, especially Paul and I, we worked out when we were younger, right? So it was like 16 to 20, like it was young. So it was like your adaptation signaling was easier for most of us. The difficult part is, especially for a lot of these, I think just understand like most of the guys we work with are above 30, and they don't want to live in the gym. Like they eventually enjoy liking it. Like they didn't like it, but they're not like, hey, I want to do 4 days a week, 5 days a week, right? So a lot of them are actually just frustrated with having love handles, right? With having the guts. And so when I was my first 5 years of training people, the skinny fat people, especially the desk workers, they were all like pissed off because they were like, well, Chris, I have to like basically they weren't sold on the dream, because imagine like you come in, you're like, I had this fat rolls and I had to put on more mass. So when you do put on, when then, the guys that like will fall off would be like, oh, well, I put on mass and I still have these fat rolls and it's been like 6 months and I've been paying you. Right. So the thing is, I actually agree physiologically because you want more mass. But first, I think we need a psychological buy-in. So in our system, we actually have you first maintain a recomp just to have you get used to everything. And then we actually do have you diet down fast, quickly, like just in and out, right? Like try to clean up what you got, lose a little bit of that little love handles, that little like stubborn belly fat. And just so you know, if you're here listening to this right now and you have like an inch or two of fat going over your pant line, that's a good indicator that you have about 20 pounds of fat to lose. So that's like the average. So if you can look down and you look at your belt and you look at your belly, and you're standing and you still have like a good inch above or past that belt waistline, 20 pounds at least. So that's why I say we always lose 20 pounds. But I digress. The first few weeks is just getting to know your shit, getting used to going to the gym, get used to just seeing what food you eat. Then it's losing weight. We're talking like no longer than 12 weeks, like in and out basically. And then after that, most of the time is spent building. And they're right. This is where I think you guys are 100% right. It's like now we got to build muscle, and putting on 2 pounds per month is probably like the good range of like not putting on too fast and being psychologically comfortable. Because realistically speaking, it's actually whatever the hell you're comfortable with. So the way we break it down in 6 months' time is this: probably like 2 weeks is just you getting used to the system. Then after that, it's only like between 8 and 12 weeks of fat loss. Like get in and out. Like we got to make sure we get as much fat loss out. And then once we're done with that fat loss, you're like, oh my God, I'm lean. Obviously, like you're like definitely on the skinnier side. Now we can spend the next 3 months building muscle and rebuilding that metabolism, especially since you work behind a desk all day. But that's the reason why I take. So you guys can obviously disagree here, if you'd like.
What was that last part? Sorry.
What I think skinny fat.
Oh, so you can disagree. You can 100% disagree. Like this is what like the whole point is like all of us coaches here, like we follow a system, but it's based on the person. And the whole point is like the journey itself is still pretty much the same, whether it's you go up first and then come back down. But all I was saying was, if we diet down first, people are like, oh, I don't have the stomach rolls, and then they're psychologically bought in. But if somebody's already psychologically bought in from the beginning, it doesn't matter. Right, like you can go up to 3 months. Like it's in the same 6 month window. It's like it's the same timelines. You're just switching which timeline is first. realistically speaking.
I mean, I agree with that. Like so I was always taught, you know, they always say that the mind is the most powerful thing because like, and I was always taught the body will do whatever the mind says it will or says it can. And so having that psychological buy-in is very essential because it's like that, you know, whenever you learn a new skill, if you constantly just fail, even though you're making progress, but you don't see the progress right away, it's hard to keep going. Versus if you start them off on that quick cut, like that quick in and out, like you said, it gives them a little taste of that success. So then they're like, "Ooh, okay." And then it also builds that trust because it's like that quick dip, they see the results. They're like, okay, this guy actually, you know, the program works. They know their shit. And then they start to listen and not, it kind of alleviates that tension and like headbutting when you're like, hey, we need to eat more so that we can look better when we lose less.
Yeah. No, that's what, like, I think out of the whole, I mean, think of it this way. Put all of our years of experiences together, that's probably 20 years, right? And add my business partner, Benji, right? I mean, that's like 24 years of experience. And you got to think it's like, we can be all scientifically right all the time, but it doesn't matter how scientifically right we are if the other person isn't willing to do it or buying in to do it, right? So that's why like I go this route and I stand by it, not because of science, but because of behavioral psychology. 100% of the time. Like most people think that if whoever knows more, and that's what I used to think, like whoever knows more is going to be the guy that like wins it out. It's like it's not even close. It's literally not even close. It's the people, hence when we go back to this AI talk, it's like people who have done this for 20, 25 years, especially like the bigger names, right? Like Contreras, uh uh freaking like Helms, Israel, right? They've been doing it for so long. It's like we're never going to win the information game because it's the same information, and they're the ones doing the research. But it's like guys like us now that are like in the weeds playing with these variables, and it's like we've done it for so long, like 24 years. You know, when we tell people like, hey, yeah, like it's not that it's net right or wrong. It's just we know that most people will fail if you go, let's say, all in, right? Versus all in then all out. If you bulk first then diet, like we know that is true. You should put on the muscle mass first. It's gonna take longer anyways. But most people are going to be like, oh, I'm still fat with muscle. So you're like, ooh. So contextually, so it's just, Brett's right. So it's like, if this person's already from the beginning, like, hey, I'll do whatever you say, which is like, I would say like, it's probably like 50-50, right? Yeah. But I would say most people come in, they're like, hey, I'm a little skeptical. And so we want to build the wins right away. And so most of the guys I have are like, hey, let's just lose that belly fat. Like, let's just get rid of that. So like you go down like a pant size or two. And then once we're done with that, you're like, oh shit, okay, I really am skinny. Like I have lean abs, but I don't feel like muscular yet. Feel that like superhero look. And so this is where it goes into the training side. So in terms of training, so I think most corporate guys think that like most of them will do like a push pull legs split or the bro split. And I'm like, dude, it's 2026. This thing is outdated. Unless you can make it to the gym every single damn time, it's not going to be worth your while. Okay. So what is your guys' take on these guys? Because I mean, this is probably the average. This is like the average guy at Hoboken, realistically speaking, right? It's like the skinny fat, like realistically, they're not like that overweight, right? It's just guys are like trying to do better, but they were usually following what? Push pull legs or chest tries, shoulders, chest tries, shoulders, thighs, back, whatever, legs, shoulder, whatever. You get the idea.
It's not sustainable. Like, if you are a big guy and you can't go to the gym like 6 days a week, like I would not really even look at push pull legs. You know what I mean? And maybe if you can, I just feel like it's such a waste of programming. If you have 6 days, you can't come and you're sticking like to PPL the entire time. Like I don't know. That sounds like a giant waste of fucking time to me. Like I'm not sure about you, but honestly, like I can kind of cook my legs off of like 3 movements in a given day. You know what I mean? If I'm doing like Bulgarian split squats or like heavy barbell back squats, then like a big hinge, like Romanian deadlift or something, and then finish it off with like leg extensions or leg curls, depending on or a lower back extension or something. I'm kind of as good. I don't think, like, and if that's the case, then like I can fill the rest of the day with like you with more shoulders, more biceps, and just have a better overall split, have a higher frequency for arms or shoulders and any other like pretty boy muscles I care about on a given day, and things of that nature, right? Like, why would you just like limit yourself to PPL unless it's suffer like these incredible like fucking like leg soreness, right? Especially if you're brand new. Like everybody I've ever trained that was like new to the gym who was like super super about it, like they go through the same process that I went through where you just go and go to the gym, you go super hard for your first week and then you just like you never fucking come back because you're just like aching the entire time. So every time I get a new client who's like, yeah, it's like the first time in the gym in like fucking like 5 years, I'm like, all right, cool. Guess what we're doing? They're like push pull legs. Like, no, we're just gonna train full body. You fucking weirdo. We're just gonna go in. We're gonna do like basically the bare minimum. You're gonna do like 3 sets of things, maybe 2, and just feel like you did something, and then you're gonna go home. You'll have worked out everything. You're gonna wake up the next day. You're gonna be sore. If you haven't done this in like 5 years, like of course you're gonna be sore. It's brand new. Your body has no idea how to react to stimulus set. And then we just do that like 2 to 3 times per week for like a month, 2 months. And then we can start looking at like more invasive programming. Like until that point, like you are by definition a beginner. The stimulus you need to make changes is so low. Why would you need to do more than like through 6 sets per body part per week at like the high end? It just seems like a giant waste.
What about you, Paul?
So I've been on both spectrums. Like when we lived in Hoboken, having the gym literally a 10-minute walk from our apartment, and then obviously working at the gym, like doing a 2-hour workout of trying to hit everything for that muscle group for the day or whatever. Like now I'm like in and out. I hit maybe 2 exercises per muscle group. I look at what my total reps are versus like how many sets I'm hitting for the week. So in terms of like, but that's what works for me. I'm a strong believer of like having a plan and then whatever that plan can fit and you can fit your life to that plan. So it's like for me now with my commute being an hour and a half to work versus a 10-minute walk, I have to optimize my time in the gym for what's most effective. So every day, some type of compound lift, usually dumbbells. I don't do a lot of barbell work anymore. For me personally, I feel I get the most out of dumbbells. Bell chest press. I'll do, um,
You go.
Goodbye, Paul. He's not wrong though. Just like fitting the program to your lifestyle is 100% the most important factor. Like the whole.
sorry about that. Um,
Okay, now
I don't know
there's
what just
and then there was
happened
2.
there. So yeah, so I personally, I do a lot of my stuff supersets and dumbbells because it's what's most effective for me.
Yeah.
I can optimize my time in the gym and then get the most out of each workout, So I don't think the split matters as much or the time that you're in the gym. It's what you're doing in that time. Like there's days that I only have 30 minutes to work out and I've had better workouts in those 30 minutes than than days that I've been 2 hours in the gym. Because also 45 minutes of those 2 hours is everybody coming up to you, like, shooting the shit.
Yeah, that's when we were back in the city. But yeah, so I think what the big takeaway here is like, yes, I think when we were younger, it's like, sure, like, do we have more time to go work out? It's like, yeah, of course. And I think when we talk to these guys, right, it's especially the guys that are like coming back from a couple year hiatus. They tried things before. You've you've thought about what you wanted to do, and all you hear is push pull legs. I have to do 6 days, 5-6 days a week. And I think it's so daunting to them. And then you hear guys like us, it's like, wow, like we have obviously changed because all of us are now in our 30s. And being that, like, Paul has to drive an hour and a half, and some days he has to work 30 minutes. Like, yeah, he has to do compound lifts, and it has to be quick and efficient, right? And even for me, it's like I have a son. I actually have to get up, go work out, come back before he wakes up, right, to help him get ready for the day. So whether it's whether you're single or in a relationship and you're like, oh, I have to go to work early in the morning. It's like, hey, you have to fit in that workout early in the morning or after work, right? And then for me, it's like with kids, it's like, well, I'm not going to sacrifice time spent with my son, so I get up earlier before work, right? Before I have to do anything else, and I get him ready for the day. So I think the big portion of this is like that's why we focus on 2 full body days, because it's so flexible, so flexible. And so you can really get crushed, especially like in the beginning. It's like, yeah, 2 full bodies is going to crush you. And as you get used to it, you're like, okay, well, if I want to add more, that's easy. But I think if you set yourself up like, oh, I want to do 5 days a week right from the get go, and you disappoint yourself continuously week after week after week, that's how you psychologically break. And so 2 days a week with flexibility, it's simple, it's easy. And then also since I know people come in and they're like, I want to build that superhero physique in 2 times a week. So here's the thing. We got to build it with compound lifts, and you got to hit it in every major plane. Okay. So to build a really balanced physique too, okay, to look good. And so the only one that's arguable is a vertical press. And it's because since you guys work behind a desk all day, it's like this. So your shoulders are kind of like rounded forward, and like a lot of you are being limited into pressing properly overhead. But otherwise, if you're in our programming, we always have you do a push. So think of your bench presses, think of your dumbbell presses. If you have a horizontal row, which is like, think of like your 1-arm rows, barbell rows, T-bar, you get the idea. And then vertical pulling, which is like your pull-ups, lat pull-downs, etc. there. And then you have a squat, squat pattern, a hinge, or like some sort of deadlift. And you have a split stance, generally speaking. Okay, so like a split squat. And so if you do all those in a week and you just do all that, dude, it comes out to doing 1 of every exercise. And then you add in like your biceps, some hamstring curls. Most guys really don't care about their calves unless you really just want to build up your calves.
I don't think they should. I think calves are the most overrated thing in fucking fitness. I think they're so genetic that like you either going to have good calves or you're going to fucking train calves like 3 days a week and see basically no growth, and that's kind of it. Like it's so fucking sad, dude. Is like I don't train my calves, and people ask me about my calves like once like every like couple of weeks. It's like, what do you do for calves? I'm like, I literally do nothing. I was a fat guy and I walked around a lot. That was kind of it. That's it. I was born with these low, thick calf inserts. And then I see people where they're like fucking calf looks like a basically a shredded like a completely stripped chicken leg bone, like a drumstick bone. And I'm just like, that's kind of what you're dealing with. Like I can't make your calf insert lower. You can do 1 million calf raises a week and nothing's going to change. I also just think it's something like just somebody said about somebody once, and the internet just kind of like ran with it. I don't think anyone actually gives a shit about your fucking calves.
I think it's all proportionate, but like, to be fair, like I really want you, like most of these guys are listening, right? I think it's more for the viewer. It's like if as long as it's not like really small, and I mean like it's disproportionate, right? Like it's just like actual chickens. It's really not gonna, like you just doing squatting and deadlifting will automatically grow it too by secondary nature. And then if it's still that bad, if it's really that bad, then I would say is, especially for the guys that come in with us that are like focusing on it, we throw it in first. And honestly, most of the time it's just because people are doing it wrong. Like they're like bouncing, they're not fully stretching at the bottom, they're not getting a full contraction at the top, right? It's really, and they're also like they're just going super fast with it. So if you just follow the rule of like going down for 2-3 seconds, getting a good stretch, pause, and then coming up full big toe, like driving into the padding or the bolster. I've done 2 sets with people, like clients are like, hey, like I'm really skinny fat. And they're like walking around for like 3 days, like all messed up just from 2 sets hard, right? And not that much weight. It's because we just don't use our calves properly. So if this is you, it was just like a lot of you guys are like, hey, I want some calves just to make sure I don't like wear, swim shorts and look like I am, half chicken ready to be cooked up. Then yeah, let's do calves first. Do like 3 sets of 10 to 15. The first thing you do when you walk into the gym. Don't even warm up. Just go right to calves. Like calves is your warm up.
Do calves also on
Every
like
day.
do calves not on leg day? Also, do calves on like your push on your chest, on your upper body push days, pull days, whatever. Just like don't wait until like your leg days to do calves, what you're having. Like no one's gonna squat and then do deadlifts and then leg extensions and then leg curls and then I'm gonna do calves. Like no, you're not. You're gonna go home. Don't fucking lie to me.
Yeah,
No,
that's the psychos. That's the trainers like
fuck
us.
yeah, dude.
I would always put calves last. I would like straight up. It would like, and always after leg press.
Yeah, but our calves are huge. Yeah, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the difference. Like that's what we're trying to tell people is like if you're imagine like these guys are wearing khakis, slacks, like their calves are not showing. And to be fair, they're probably wearing looser pants anyways. What really matters is just making sure that you have an ass. You know what I mean? Like that you just have something there. In which case is like just doing the bare minimum will get you there. So that's what we're talking about. So if you want to peach, wearing your slacks, wearing your business clothes, and actually have something back there besides having that, like tucked, like little, you basically don't even have a slit kind of ass. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. It's like you guys have a disappearing ass. But I think here's the biggest points. So now that you have been doing the compounds, right? Like all right, Chris, I'm doing the compounds in every single plane of motion. You gotta make sure that you're getting stronger week to week, and it could get better. And what I mean by that is you can get better in 4 different ways. So usually, first is by technique, right? Then it's by feeling it, making it feel easier, right? So week to week in comparison. Then you can add reps, and then you can add weight. And as long as you're doing that week to week, you're basically in the good range. And if you keep doing that for a long, long time, like usually as a beginner, you can do that for like a year straight. But for our guys that like, hey, I want to transform in 6 months, like, dude, 6 months time, like you can get to dumbbell pressing probably like around the 50-pound dumbbells. You probably be rowing around the 50-60-pound dumbbells, and you probably be doing, assisted pull-ups to pull-ups by then. So like if you can get going from there, you're gonna absolutely crush. But the whole point is that you need to. So the whole point is like, look, if you diet down first, your waist is gonna taper down, and then you spend the rest of the 3 months building muscle. And if that muscle is built around the shoulders and chest, right? But shoulders, chest, and back, then you pretty much have built the V taper in the first 6 months, right? And then from there, it's so much easier because then now you spent the most. Now that you like, imagine like in 6 months' time, you go, so like you maintain for a little bit, just get used to everything. You diet down, you bulk back up. But that bulking period and that phase 3, phase 4 in our cycle, it's basically going to be a long, long time. And then all you have to do is cut down again for like 6 weeks, and you lost all the fat that you've accumulated in like, well, in this case, 3 months time. But if you go for, most of our clients go for like 20 months. Like in 20 months time, they put on like 10, 15 pounds of muscle and are looking way leaner because they spend like 9 months bulking properly afterwards, after a long time. So you already built the physique, right? Really good physique. And then they built a crazier physique after that in 20 months time. But realistically, a superhero physique is realistic. Like a real superhero physique is like, is more like Christian Bale's Dark Knight. Like that's a realistic take on like what a natural superhero, like a modern day superhero would actually look like for the average person. I think when you look at like Thor, like Chris Hemsworth, that is like the genetically gifted. That is also like, it's like genetically gifted. He obviously trains hard, and we're questioning if he's on special juices. And so that is obviously a super unrealistic.
Bro, Thor Love and Thunder. If that man was not juicing,
like,
I'm Britney Spears.
I'm just saying. Like, it was never confirmed.
When you
I'm just saying.
question the powers
I'm not.
that be.
There's
His
no hate.
bicep was the size of my head, and you know my head. It's huge.
Egotistically or physically?
Yeah.
Definitely physically. No, I think I agree. I agree with the Christian Bale. I think Chris Evans being Captain America is like probably the limit of what you can do naturally in terms of like, not limit, but like that's like Christian Bale's like, I agree, like the average goal of what people really want to achieve. And then for the psychopaths like us, it's like Chris Evans or Thor It's like you go, which route do you want to go? We're like,
yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, I think. Yeah, I think so. Take perspective of the people that we talk to, right? So like if you're the guys that work 9 to 5, quote unquote 9 to 5, it's like imagine like you're working out 2-3 times a week. It's like think about how long that would actually take. So that's why when I gave when I say superhero, especially like in my programming, I'm like, hey, the reason why I call it superheroes is because like realistically, it's just like you have broader shoulders, tighter waist, and then if you want to build something that's lean and mean, it's like and even more than that. It's like Christian Bale is probably like, yeah, and also Chris Evans, just not in that one scene where like everything is like coming, when he comes out of the capsule and he's like now juiced up in the thing, and he was like perfectly like massaged, pumped up, and like every like crevice was painted like perfectly.
Are we really going to say that like Chris Evans is natural? Like literally the character is like on super steroids. That's what the character is, right? Like the super serum is steroids.
Well, so here's the thing. So
yeah.
In terms of that movie shot, I think it's obviously that one time and like sure. Yes. But if you look at him now, like he's preparing obviously for the new one. And he was just in casual gear, perfectly normal, like normal structure size.
I think he could definitely be natural for sure. I think he's like within that range.
Yeah, like I'm thinking of like the scenes where he's like running, or grabbing the helicopter and like you just see his bicep and it's like rippling. I'm surprised he didn't like fucking tear something.
Yeah.
I think he did.
I actually think, and it was not a helicopter.
No, I think he did actually like hurt his arm while like gripping that during the scene. They should have gave him a stronger serum.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I assume it was, I do have, so Jace is one of the guys that we have on our clientele list that does all this kind of fun stuff with video games and design. And usually it's like a prop that you still hold, but it's a green screen behind it. And then if it's something like that, it will have sensors on like the poles. So you're probably grabbing onto a pole, but it's probably still like obviously difficult to do. You're still stretching out no matter. He's probably actually doing this.
Yeah.
But so besides the point, looking at him now, and like in regular scenes of that movie, like that is definitely achievable. I just think that like yes, that's gonna take like more of the years. So that's why I actually who knows a really good example? Stephen Amell's Arrow. I actually looked at his physique the other day. I was like, that is very achievable. Like just look up Stephen Amell Arrow shirtless, and it's comparable. Like you know what I mean? It's not like he's not huge by any means, and he obviously has like the fake scars and the tattoos for the show, but
he's cut.
It's just a lean and mean physique. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's literally what I'm saying. That's why I was like, look, if you drop down about, let's say for the average of these guys, they drop down 20 pounds of fat, they put on about 10 pounds of muscle, you can get pretty close to that, like on average, and give or take 6 months period, and that's like doing everything right. And then after that, it's like a full year period, you can get really far with that. But that's pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much like the bulk of it, going from skinny fat to superhero. Right, and I think I've always looked up to like those looks, anyways. Because like Arrow was huge back then. Like the first 2 seasons were sweet, especially with like Deathstroke, or like Slade Wilson killing like his mother and stuff. Oh, insane. And then Christian Bale's Dark Knight is obviously like epitomized as probably the best Batman series psychologically of all time. So, even though it's still a little bit more fantastical, yeah. But I think it's also easier for people to understand like what those looks are. You know what I mean? Like it's not. I think there's a certain point where it just feels so out of grasp, right? Which is like when you do see, for example, Thor, like you're just like okay, or when Captain America comes out of that capsule, like you just know that's like we obviously all aspire to it. It's not just humanly possible.
I mean, like I aspire to Tom Hardy as Bane, but all right, sure, go for
it. Yo, you mean eating
traps the freaking Antarctica?
Fucking traps, just fucking yoked. Yeah, that's it.
Yo, his diet for that role was insane. He would have, I think it was like a large pizza and 2 liter bottles of sodas a night. Absurd.
I want to justify that in my diet. That's what I want to do. That's how jacked I want to be.
He's only like 5'8" too. Like,
yeah, dude. Like, I'm not that much shorter.
All right, here we go. Tom Hardy's plan. So Tom Hardy gained 30 pounds of mass in just 3 months, creating that powerful physique. For Bane, he had 4 days a week training. And then let's see I want to see his Food. Here we go. All right, so he had 800, 500, 700, 400, 800, 400. So that's 13, 2,000, 24, 32, 36, 36 to 4,000 every single day for 3 months straight. Well, that's the point though. Like his physique was never lean. That's the point. Like,
no, he's not lean. I don't want to be like super fucking shredded. That doesn't sound like fun to me. I want to be powerful. I want to be strong and like while also having like, just a dense muscle mass.
On the other side though, him and Warrior, that UFC fight where he had to like fight his brother, that movie, he was beyond shredded. Like, you want to talk about traps in that? He looked like he had zero neck, and I think he was like down to like 150, 160 for that. Like, he was on the total opposite of the spectrum. But it's like, that's the thing.
No, he was great. He was great in that movie.
But that's the thing. It's like when you dial in the training, the nutrition on both ends. So like, obviously to get up to the Bane level size in 3 months, you have to put in the work of both the gym and the work of eating all that food. Like eating 4,000 to 5,000 calories and like maintaining that every day, that's a lot of work. Just as much as cutting down and getting strict. What?
No, I was agreeing.
Oh, yeah. Just as much as cutting. Yeah. So much. Like I would much rather a cut than a bulk in terms of amount of food. Like, but it's no matter which way you take, it's going to require dialing in all aspects, the training, the nutrition, the mindset, like to get to where you want.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way. Most of the guys, I mean, 99% of guys that we work with, 99% don't want to look like Bane.
No, absolutely not.
What they actually look for is like, I would say the biggest ones that come to mind that they come in, they're like, I want to look like Mark Wahlberg. They want like Mark Wahlberg in the 90s. They want to look like, I think Chris Evans is like up there. Like when he's like just naturally sitting, like in the scenes where he's just like at the army camps, like they're just like, I want to look like that. Like just see, or like, for example, is like Daniel Craig's James Bond, like not like super lean. He definitely has packs, but he's just chilling, he's chilling and he looks sharp, right? In everything that he does. So like, that's kind of like the look that these guys are going for. But yeah, so after listening to this podcast, you guys now have an idea of how we do it. And the thing is, there's different takes about it. So just know that our system is broken down into 3 to 4 phases, and we kind of broke down like first phase being that it is straight through. It's eating. You're not basically not doing anything. You're actually losing fat and building muscle at the same time. Phase 2 is you're dieting, but you're dieting only within like 12-week period at most. Sometimes a little bit more, but we're usually in and out. And then the rest of the way is actually bulking properly and integrating into your lifestyle so you can actually keep doing it forever. And so in that process, you lose anywhere between 12 and 20 pounds of fat, and then actually put on about between 6 and 10 pounds of muscle in a 6-month period. And anything after that is like, you want to really, really build an even crazier physique after already building something that most people can't even achieve. Thanks for watching this podcast. If you'd enjoyed this podcast, please share with a friend, please subscribe, and follow us on my Instagram. Mine is Coach_Chris Lee.